things for you guys. This is what I did on my warrior to help him manage threat, okay? I'm going to kind of go through a test build for you guys, and I would recommend Arms Tree while leveling. Fury's kind of like your melee DPS build. Arms gives you a lot of utility because you can level with it and you can tank with it because of a couple things. So I would start out with Rend. I would get Tactical Mastery because you may need to change stances to hamstring a target, or change stances so that you can Mocking Blow, which is your taunt in battle stance. Or you may need to change stances so that you can use Intercept or things like that if you lose aggro and you want to protect somebody. So you're going to want... Oh. Hey, Ava Sunny, what's up? What's up? Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the support. Which stance to tank on in this build? You're still going to stay in defensive stance. Another bot. Ava Sunny is a bot. You're still going to stay in defensive stance the whole time when we do this. But one of the reasons we go to arms right here is you're going to get improved Thunderclap right here, okay? It reduces the rage of Thunderclap and increases the damage by 60%. This is really, really huge because it's going to help you maintain threat on a variety of targets, especially when you're in defensive stance while you're leveling really early on. I would get this first because when you go into Dead Mines, when you go into... I know, yeah, Rock Conquering, these bots are getting crazy. When you go into a lot of the early dungeons, though, this will really help you do more AoE damage. And you can use Thunderclap in defensive stance now on TurtleWoW, which is a huge change that helps your warriors. So make sure you pick this up right away. This will really help you with your threat. And then continue with Deflection because this will help you with mitigation. Okay? I like to go for improved overpower personally. So I'll go like this, and then I'll go like this. And then you're going to do... You kind of need this to get the rest of these talents. So this is how I'm going to keep building is Two-Handed Weapon Spec and Impale. You want to have higher damage on crits for sure. You want to have... this so that you can get to Master of Arms. But also, Sweeping Strikes. This is really, really huge when you're tanking because Sweeping Strikes, if you're getting a lot of rage between fights, you can start pumping Sweeping Strikes, you know, blood raging before combat, activating Sweeping Strikes, pulling your targets, getting a ton of AoE damage out, even if you're not using a two-hand weapon, that will really, really help you. Nowadays, you're condemned to pick 5 out of 5 deflection. You're condemned to pick 5 out of 5 deflection and counter as mandatory since hamstring is on a 6 seconds. Yeah, mainly you care about this because of your stats, right? You want that extra 5% parry. Eventually, we'll get to it because if you have, 8% block chance and 8% dodge chance, and then you get your parry chance to 8 or 10%. That means overall you're almost at 30% mitigation, not including mischance from mobs. So you have less of a chance to get hit by some of these abilities, okay? That's why it's important. So get Sweeping Strikes. It's really good for AoE threat. And then get Master at Arms, okay? Because you get a lot of really good axes when you're leveling, whether it be Scarlet Monastery, whether it be your Whirlwind Axe. There's one-handed axes all the way up to... end game, and you want that critical strike chance because not only are you going to put a bleed on targets, especially your main target, which is going to help you generate more threat, but you're going to hit them really, really hard, okay? And when you crit, you generate more rage. So when you're generating more rage, it's really, really important because you can dump it into things like Thunderclap, so you can keep generating a ton of AoE threat. One more thing I want to say. When you first pull as a warrior, one of your first things you should do to get your AoE threat is Demoralizing Shout if you have more mobs than you can manage with Thunderclap. So if you've got 5 mobs, you can just Thunderclap. But if you got a bunch of mobs, you should be Demoralizing Shouting right away to get that initial threat, okay? That's another really important thing to help you tank as a warrior. But these things right here will help you immensely, okay? Sweeping Strikes, Master at Arms. You want to get axes. You want to get axes. You don't want to ignore armor yet. That's more of a thing that you can do when you're DPS focused. You want to try to get some crits. Those crits are really, really good on your warrior. Improved disciplines is pretty okay, but what I like to do is come back up and finish parry for more damage mitigation and finish tactical mastery or get it higher. Mortal Strikes is really good. T-Clap is only 4 targets. Yes, but you can, on top of your primary target, you can generate threat on one guy and then 4 other targets, basically. Pretty good if you space it right. But Mortal Strike is really good. And then once you finish all of this and your 31 points in your arms tank build, I always come to Cruelty right after. This is super crucial because now you have a 10% increased chance to crit with axes. As a tank, this is huge. You generate so much threat just by raw crits here, okay? I usually go on Bridled Wrath for more rage because more excess rage means you can dump more stuff. A lot of people sleep on Piercing Howl. I like to get it. It's really good as a warrior. It can save your life and your party's life on bad pulls. It can help you control bad pulls. So I usually go here and then I'll go to Improve Shouts. The rest is really up to you. Okay, some people like to go like this and then start working on Enrage. Other people like to maybe go towards Prot. It's really up to you, but these are the main things that you should focus on with your tank build. Okay, yeah, Howl is really good. Piercing Howl is incredibly good because if you'll notice, every target near your warrior. They're a good example of why this is really good, of things you don't think about. If you pull too many mobs, literally every target around you can be hit by Piercing Howl for 6 seconds. So like if you're in Scholomance and you pull the room with all the exploding undead, that's a lot of undead, and it can help you control them a lot with Piercing Howl. So anyway, this is the recommended build for you warriors if you're having trouble tanking. If you guys have any questions or if I can help you with macros, hit me up on Discord. My name is Mythix. I can send you any of the macros I've got on my warrior already that help me perform higher or faster so that I can maintain my threat on my warriors. So let me know, guys. I've been doing warrior for a long time. I'm pretty good at tanking as a warrior on TurtleWoW. Although right now I'm leveling a paladin to see how that is, or gearing a paladin to see how that is. Warrior is always my soul class. So anyway, hope that helps.